Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today this is the ultimate gadget device that I love. This is one of the reasons why I actually got into creating these channels, because I just love tech like this, and that is something like the Huawei Buds smartwatch. This thing is seriously cool. This is why technology is advancing at the rate that it is, and this has got that kind of Bond vibe to it that I love. So let's find out a little bit more about these things and whether you should actually consider getting them for yourself. Let's get into it. Right, okay, so we're talking about the Huawei Watch Buds. Now, these are super duper cool smartwatch, first and foremost. Now, if you've been watching the channel, I have increasingly been impressed by the Huawei products. In the last year, to be honest, they've been actually producing great products for a long time, but obviously because of the ban from Android and all the kerfuffle that they had based on the spying issue, then obviously they've been banned and prohibited from marketing, certainly to the West, but also using some of the Google services as well. So what that's meant is that you obviously can't necessarily get some of their products or all of their products to work compatibly. But however, they've worked out numerous workarounds. And in particular, this watch, the Huawei watch, does function fully on my Android device. I've been able to connect it to various different phones. I've had no problem whatsoever. I've been able to change over the phone compatibility way easier than I did with either a Samsung or when I had the Apple Watch as well. Switching the device to a new phone or tethering it to a new phone was a nightmare on both of those devices. But on this, you just literally go to the point where you are wanting to switch to a new device. Obviously your account is already synced up because you're logged in, and that was it. Literally pairing it or tethering it via Bluetooth, and that was it. It worked straight away. Now on the device, on my phone, I obviously have the app dedicated to it, which is called Huawei Health. So that is obviously all the health tracking features, as well as all of the watch faces and all of the aspects and setup that you're going to use on the watch is all built into the app. So you can use it very broadly and set exactly how you want it, including the numerous watch faces that you have available in order to use it. But talking specifically about this watch, because I have been really impressed with the Huawei tracking devices, both for GPS and for heart rate measurements. Now, for those eagle-eyed of you will notice that I'm also wearing a Whoop tracker, and I'm going to be comparing the two in a follow-up video. If you're interested in that, make sure you like and subscribe. I'd very much like to know. Put a comment below as well if that's something of interest for you. But the Buds Watch has been really good at measuring my health, measuring my heart rates, SpO2, skin temperatures. All those things are covered by this watch, despite the fact that it is a little bit of a gimmick in the sense that what it is designed to do. And of course, the primary feature is that it has hidden inside it earbuds. So taking a little look around the design, let's have a little look. So what we're gonna do is, obviously when you look at the device, there's a little push button right at the base of the screen, and you push it down and up pops the earbuds, or the screen should I say, and then underneath the screen, magnetized to the screen no less, are the earbuds, which is seriously cool. They are absolutely tiny. Now, as always, I'm gonna put them into my ears as we continue with the video so that you can obviously see the profile of them. Now, the reality of it is that you probably won't see the profile of them because they're absolutely tiny. So I snap that down. It gives me a little haptic warning as well when I've got the screen open to say close the lid, because of course it's vulnerable to breakage, etc. But it is a solid snap, it's a good mechanism, and it works really well every time. Working around the phone, the watch itself, we're going to look at the side crown. And one of the design features that I have a problem with is actually the positioning or the location of the side crown, because that is always getting in my way if I do anything with a very bent wrist. And if you work out, or if you're somebody who's familiar with doing press-ups or bar work or anything like that, then you're going to be knocking that. And actually, just yesterday, I had an experience whereby I actually switched the device off because I was in that position for a sustained period of time where I ended up switching the whole thing off, and then I lost my workout. That, at the moment, has been the only drawback that I've felt with regard to this watch. But it's not the only one. The other drawback is that it is obviously on the thicker side, so it's a little bit dense, as you can imagine. It's got to contain a battery and it has to contain the earbuds as well. So it's a little bit on the thick side, but it isn't that much thicker than your average Samsung S line watch as well. So the S6, for example, S5 Pro was very, very thick. So this is actually not that much thicker. Now the screen size is also a little bit smaller than some of their other devices. I'll put a link to the description of my review of the GT4, which was a brilliant phone, very slim, very light, but with an excellent panel. This one does have an excellent panel as well, but it is a little bit smaller, and bezel around the screen is a little bit larger than I might like as well. So that is also a little bit of a drawback. Otherwise, it does come with a leather strap in the box, which is quite nice, but it does feel a little bit cheap to me. I don't know why. It's a good quality leather strap. It is decent. It's got nice stitching on it. It's got a decent buckle, but it does, for some reason, it seems to cheapen the watch a little bit. I don't know why. I found that the other watch on the GT4 just had a smart design watch. I had this combination of leather and PVC, so that obviously if you did exercise in it, then it wouldn't be so gunky and grimy. This one is obviously probably not designed for those people who train regularly, so not necessarily for me, but it is comfortable enough. It looks quite large on my wrist because I have very small wrists. But it is not too heavy that it is cumbersome. I actually can sleep with it. And again, the sleep tracking metrics are really impressive. So in addition to getting the coolest earbuds, to be honest, that you can get obviously to whip out at a moment's notice, you've also got some excellent tracking devices as well. Now, practical use of these earbuds. When are you actually going to use them? The reality of it is that for music, these aren't great. For audio, in the sense that spoken audio like podcasts, these work really well. For anything that's a bit more melodic without too much bass, these are absolutely fine. If you like bass, if you like dance music, if you like hip hop, these aren't going to work for you because you just don't get enough of it, because of course they're absolutely tiny and there just isn't enough space within these things in order to generate that bass inside your ear. But for everything else that's a bit more in the trebles and the mids, these are actually pretty decent. And of course, then what you're going to want to use them for is, for example, an instant phone call. So where I've had a great example of this, I've been in a situation where I didn't have access to my phone. My watch will buzz in order to inform me that I'm receiving a phone call. It will then inform me that I can use the earbuds. I pop the earbud, pop them open, and there we go. I can get a phone call, take out the earbuds, put it on, authorize the call, and it works really, really well. And the beauty of that is that obviously I can fully hear the person very, very well in my ears, but also they can hear me pretty well. I would give the rating of the microphones built into these earbuds at about a B. It could be better. There are better earphones for sure, but they can definitely hear you and they can definitely understand what you're saying, but it does sound like you're using some earphones as opposed to it being like a natural phone call from as well. These ones are B- perhaps for a phone call, but perfectly sufficient. And for the convenience and for the pure gadgetry of them, then they are awesome, really, really handy. Another reason to use them, let's say you're in a quiet environment and you want to be able to listen to an audio message that you've received on a messenger or WhatsApp or FaceTime or something like that. You can pop these in and you'll obviously be able to listen to it very discreetly and very, very comfortably as well. So these are very cool for the Bond effect, for the gadget vibe, and for practical terms, they are really good. Now, in terms of battery life, you're going to get about an hour out of these if you use them solidly. It's unlikely you're going to use them for that period of time, but you're going to get an hour out of the buds themselves. And then, of course, you just plug them into the watch itself, and then they start to recharge. So of course they recharge wirelessly inside the watch itself. The battery life on this watch is impressive. Now I really stress tested it, switched on all the sensors, had everything going, was wearing it at night. I had the always on display as well, and I managed to get 4 days out of the watch. 4 days, when Apple can barely manage 2 days. This was 4 days with everything on, earbuds inside it, and I was using it at night and I didn't take it off once. Now, if I switch off some things, particularly the always on display, I've recharged it, and I've had this on now for another 5 days, and I'm only now at 50%. So we can assume that I'm going to get to around 8-10 days before this claps out, and I'm going to need to charge it up again. And it does come with a very simple wireless charging puck. It's not a unique pin. It's actually just a wireless charger, which is super handy, and it charges up really quick. I was actually very surprised. I actually managed to get it fully charged in under an hour. So that is quite impressive as well. So of course, you're going to get 10 days of use and it charges in 1 hour. What is going on? As a result, this is a little on the expensive side. So let's talk about price. This is 450 euros. That's quite a lot of money based on the fact that you're getting a fairly large smartwatch that is not brilliant for exercise, but it does look quite smart. But you are also getting some mid-range earbuds as well. So let's not forget that you are getting some earbuds as well that you can plug in obviously at any time that you like, because you're literally carrying them with you at all times. So that is super cool. If these go on sale, they're an absolute bargain. So if you can get these for under 400 or even closer to 350, someone who loves gadgets is going to love this device. It is really cool. I've enjoyed using them. I've enjoyed being able to just literally, I've had to remind myself, oh, I've got my earbuds here. I can just pop them in either to listen to audio, to make an audio, or just to listen to a podcast. And for the pure convenience of that, I really, really love them. So I would highly recommend them. They are not necessarily going to be the best for sound. That's just the way it is, but they are great fun, really good innovation. And if they can make it slightly slimmer and improve the sound, these could be brilliant. But these are currently the only available version of the Watch Buds, and I don't know if they have any more in development. But let's hope they do. If you are interested in these, or if you've got any questions about these devices, or if there's a video you would like for me to make about them, put a comment below. I'd love to know. Otherwise, please make sure you like and subscribe. We are racing along really, really nicely. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon in my next video. Bye-bye for now.